Hey everyone, so on this how-to, going to be replacing the upper control arm bushes. These ones are a bit flogged. I'm getting uneven tyre wear and stuff like that on them, so so what you're going to need to do is jack the car up, use some stands and stuff like that, take the wheel off, and then undo the bolt that goes all the way through. It's a big long one, nut down on the firewall side. And to get it out, you're going to have to take out your battery, and then if you've got airbags, there's an airbag sensor there you're going to have to remove as well. So I'll jackal the car up, and what you can do is, I'm just using the jacking up that, and then I'll put a stand under the chassis to hold it, and then I'll show you what the next process is. After you've got the battery out and you've loosened that bolt off, you'll get the wheel off like I said earlier, and you'll need to take off the top ball joint to get this arm completely out. Alright, so once you've got undone the nut on the bolt that goes through for the control arm, which is a 19mm nut, I've undone that, and that's loose, and then you'll need to undo this little 10mm bracket that holds on the ABS line. You take I had a battery drain here, so I've taken that out. You need to undo the ABS bracket if you've got one. So I've taken that out, got that out the way, and then the bolt will come through there. You might be able to see it. So you just have to bend some of those lines out the way for it to come out. What you try and do is get the washer to stay there, and then just push the actual head of the bolt through. So see if I can get it out. Right, I'm going to have to undo some more lines. So which line is it? Power steering line, which is that one just there's a little bracket just below the air conditioning line. Undo that one. It's a flexible pipe on each end, so just push that out the way, and that head of the bolt will come through. So I've undone that line, and so the washer has to stay, hopefully it will stay there. Just have to get to put that washer back on. Comes out. Put this out of the way, make it a bit easier. Make sure you don't leave that little rubber bung that goes in there. Or lose the washer. It's a long bolt, and I've dropped the washer of course, but got a long bolt. So once you got that out, and you fish back the washer, which is just in there. I need to undo that one first. Should have done that before, hey? I did tell you to do it before. I should listen to what I'm saying, hey? So you get that off, and then that whole thing will come out, and then it's just a matter of getting these bushes out. Now I've got new Super Pro bushes. There we go. Done. So we get these bushes out, and we'll put some new ones in. Interesting to see where it's, yeah, so it's flogged out on the bush there. These are Nylothane ones, the brand Nylothane. I'm surprised how long they haven't lasted actually. So I'll put some Super Pro ones back in there like I've done in the rear. These ones should come out pretty easily. They are pressed in, but not very hard, so I might just be able to get a chisel and just knock these out pretty easily. And I'll show you putting them back in. So I'm just hitting these. The factory ones would be much harder. You need to push the factory ones out, or you could try and cut them and get the metal sleeve out, but these are heaps easier to get out than what the factory ones are. So if you are replacing the factory ones, you will need a press to press them out, or you could do the trick, which is you burn the rubber out, get all the rubber out, and then you're left with that metal sleeve, like this metal sleeve, and then you score it and then you chisel it out. Just if you've taken it off yourself, you might go down to the local auto shop, you know, Automasters, whatever, and ask them. It might cost you a couple of bucks or whatever to get them to press out and push the new ones in. Or if you're just putting these ones back in, you don't really need to press these in. You could, you know, use the old ones and hammer them in or something like that, but just pay the money to get someone to press them in. The old ones are out and putting the new ones in, so I've just cleaned the inside of the housing. I've just put a little bit of grease in there to push it in. So I've got the cross bushings in there at the moment. I haven't put any more grease in there. They've already come with a bit of grease, but I will push them out and add a bit more grease that they supply in there, so that it won't squeak and hopefully won't wear out. So I'm just gonna, I've pushed them in, and I'm just gonna use a good old hammer and hammer them in. You could use a press if you've got a press. I don't, so I'm gonna use the old hammer and do it like that. So now I've got the bushes pressed in, and like I said earlier, you're going to have to get a press to push those ones in. They're a bit tight. Get the cross tube out. I mean, what you want to do is get the little, you might not be able to see it, there's like little nails in there, so we've been cross hatch or whatever you want to say it is. So you put a whole lot of grease that comes with it in there, so what helps it to slide and not squeak. So yeah, just liberally apply that on the inside, no matter if you get some on the outside, and also actually on the cross tube. And once you've done that, then you just push it in like so, and then we can whack it back in the car. I should put it back in that way, which in this one the bolt goes towards the back, which is for the brake bit in there. So what you might need to do is just have the cross tube sitting out a little bit on each side, so sitting out on the outer edge, so it can get over that actual lip on the strut tower. So it's going to go in there, and then you put the bolt through, and then you can do it up. Once you've got that in, ideally it doesn't matter whether you do this up on the car, you can do it up because it will slide heaps further than what a rubber one. So if you're doing rubber bushes like the factory style, you put it in there, you don't tighten it up, you just do it loose, put everything back together, put it on the ground to ride height, and then do it up tight. But with this, because you get heaps more range of movement, and when I get the bolt in there, I'll show you how much more movement you get out of this than what you would with even a factory rubber one. So we'll get that back in there, and I'll just do a follow up at the end. Cheers. Alright, so I've got it all done up, and you can see I've got it up tight, and you can go all the way up and down, and that's spinning on that cross tube and that shaft there. And you would not be able to do that with a factory bush, because they only get about 30% of movement from where they've been done up. So if you've done them at ride height, you only get about 30% of movement. So you do get more movement out of a polyurethane in a control arm sense in this environment anyway. So once I've done that, I'll do them up, do the ball joints back up, do them up to spec, and put the wheels on, and then you're all done. Cheers, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe if you like. Cheers, bye.